So you're thinking about moving to Allen, Texas. Well, here's the thing about Allen that I don't think the listing photos ever capture. In most of the big suburbs up here, like Frisco, Plano, or Prosper, your kids could end up at any one of a handful of different high schools and on a handful of different teams. In Allen, there's only going to be one. One high school, one team. The whole city of over 100,000 people funnels its kids into the same place, and they all become the Allen Eagles. That one fact shapes almost everything about what it feels like to raise a family here. And by the end of this video, you're gonna know whether that's exactly what you're looking for or the reason Allen isn't your fit. We're going to walk through the neighborhoods families actually land in, the schools, the commute, what you'll really pay, including the property tax picture, and the honest trade-offs, including who Allen is genuinely not for. And stick with me to the cost section because Allen has one quiet advantage over the newer suburbs that can save you real money every single year. And almost nobody is going to be talking about it. But first off, my name is Kristen Carpentier. I'm a licensed realtor here in Dallas-Fort Worth. I am a mom of 4, and I've been married a pretty long time now. And my husband and I have spent most of our marriage raising our family right here in DFW. So let's get into it. Now, the city of Allen sits in Collin County. It's about 25 miles north of downtown Dallas, right along the US 75 freeway. The population of Allen is somewhere around 105 to about 110,000 people. Whether you're looking at the census or the newer estimate, either way, we call it a pretty good-sized city that still feels like a bit of a small town. Now, here's what makes Allen different from its neighbors. Prosper, Salina, and even Frisco are still being built out with quite a bit of new construction happening. There's raw land turning into more rooftops as we speak. But Allen is basically done. The majority of it has been built out for years, which means mature trees, established neighborhoods from the late 90s and 2000, and a settled, this is a real community feel. You're not moving into a construction zone. You're moving into a place that already knows what it is. According to niche.com, Allen earns an A+ rating overall and an A+ for families, and it ranks among the very top school districts in Collin County. The median household income in Allen is around $129,000, and roughly 42% of households have kids still living at home. And one thing that surprises a lot of families moving in from California or the Northeast, Allen has quietly become one of the more diverse suburbs up here, which means the food and the culture are a lot richer than maybe the Texas suburb stereotype you probably have ingrained in your brain. Now, let's talk about where families actually land because Allen covers a few pretty different lifestyles depending on which part you're in. There's the Twin Creeks neighborhood. Twin Creeks is the flagship, I guess you could call it, of Allen. It was Allen's first big master plan community. It's built around an Arnold Palmer Championship golf course. Most homes here land somewhere in the maybe $600,000 to the low $800,000 range. Though that range runs wider than that on both ends, depending on the particular section and the lot. It has an abundance of mature trees, resident pools, and its own park. It's the established, settled version of Allen. Then there's Star Creek. Star Creek is a little bit newer, built out through about the 2010s, and it has a clubhouse, a couple of resort-style pools, a splash zone, tennis, and lakes with trails running through it. Homes here often run in the high $600,000 range up past $1 million. It's the one I point families to when they want that amenity-rich, everybody's at the pool on the weekend type of a feel. And next up is going to be Waters Creek and Montgomery Farm. This is the part of Allen that catches a lot of people off guard. Waters Creek at Montgomery Farm is a walkable district with shops, restaurants, a creek running through it with green space where they do concerts in the summertime and fountains that the kids like running through. And there's upscale residential townhomes and single-family homes built right around it. So if walkability matters to you and you assumed a Texas suburb couldn't offer it, well, this is an area that could be worth a second look. Waters Crossing is your more attainable, established option. And a lot of that inventory is going to land in the $400,000 to $600,000 range, which for these schools is a genuinely reasonable entry point. And then there's the farm in Allen. Here's why the farm matters, though, because Allen is built out. There is very little brand new construction left, and I'll be honest with you about that here in a minute. Now, the farm is going to be the exception, though. It is a big mixed-use development on one of the last major open tracts of land. With urban-style homes, it's going to have luxury townhomes, It does have a food hall called The Hub, even though I did just hear a rumor that could be shutting down, unfortunately. Kind of crazy to me, I guess. But plus it also has offices and a lot of open space as well. So if you want something new in Allen, that is increasingly where it comes from. It's not going to be a big new subdivision of single family homes on brand new streets. That's just not what Allen has left. I keep a full page on Allen on my website, by the way, over at whymovetodallas.com. Now over there so you can dive deeper into it after this video. Okay, so this is the section I told you to stick around for. The first half of Allen ISD and that one single high school thing. Allen ISD earns an A+ rating from niche.com. And per niche, it consistently ranks at or near the top of Collin County. The graduation rate sits up in the mid to high 90% range. And the district runs a STEAM center, has a large AP program, and an international baccalaureate program for the 11th and 12th graders. So on paper, it's about as strong as it's going to get up here. But here's what actually makes Allen. The entire city sends its kids to one comprehensive high school, Allen High School, with a dedicated 9th grade campus called the Lowry Freshman Center that is going to feed into it. Now, we're talking a high school of over 5,000 students. It's the largest in the entire state of Texas. Now, the way I explain this to families is this. It's the difference between a big state university and a small college. A high school that size can field things that a smaller school really just can't, like an elite band program, deeply rooted athletics, robotics, the IB options, and dozens of clubs. So whatever your kid is into, it probably is going to exist here. And there's no boundary anxiety. You don't lie awake wondering which high school you're going to zone into or whether they're going to redraw the line after you move in. That's a real thing families are dealing with in the fast-growing districts and suburbs here in North Dallas. In Allen, there's one answer, and everybody shares it. The trade-off, though, and I always give you the trade-off, is that 5,000 plus kids really is a lot. Some families love the scale. Others worry that maybe a quieter kid could get lost in a school that's that big, and that's a fair thing to kind of sit with and think about. Neither answer is wrong. It just kind of depends on your particular child. And here's the piece you feel on a Friday night. Because there's one team, the whole city is going to show up to the same games. Allen built an 18,000-seat football stadium. It's bigger than a lot of college stadiums. And on a Friday night in the fall, that is definitely going to be where the town is. That kind of shared identity is genuinely hard to find. And it's the thing that a lot of Allen families tell me that sealed it for them. Now, one honest note, and I say this in every school section, I never tell a family which district or which school is going to be better. That is your call. What I do is make sure you're verifying the actual attendance zone for the specific address. And here's a bit of reassurance. Unlike some of the bigger cities up here where a mailing address can quietly land you in a different school district entirely, Allen is essentially one city and one district. So you're not going to accidentally miss Allen ISD. What you do still want to confirm is the specific elementary and middle feeders for the exact address, because those can end up varying a little bit. Now, I keep a page on every one of these districts on my website under the school district section if you want to dig in further on all of that. Now, all right, now let's talk commute. And I'm going to be straight with you because this is where Allen's location cuts both ways. Allen's main arteries are US Highway 75 running north and south, and the Sam Rayburn Tollway, which is the 121 clipping that north end of Allen and connecting you east and west towards Frisco, Legacy West, and over to the airport even. If your job is in the big North Dallas job corridor around Legacy West and West Plano, where you've got JP Morgan, Toyota's North American headquarters, or Charles Schwab type of companies, that whole clustered area, you're probably looking at roughly a 20 to 30 minute commute, and that's gonna be the sweet spot. That's who Allen works beautifully for. Downtown Dallas is where I set honest expectations. Off-peak, you're looking at around 30 to 40 minutes maybe, but in that morning rush heading south on the 75, it can stretch well past that time frame. If you're commuting downtown 5 days a week on site, go drive it at 7 or 8 a.m. or coming home at 5 o'clock before you truly commit. And I mean that. And here's a real one. Allen is not a DART city. There's no light rail, and there's not even a city bus that runs through Allen. The nearest train is the Parker Road Station down in Plano. Now, Allen actually did that on purpose. It kept its sales tax to pour into its own parks and recreation instead. And you feel that everywhere, which we'll get to here in just a second. But the takeaway is, Allen is really going to be a two-car, drive-everywhere type of a suburb. If you're coming from a city where you took the train to work, that's going to be the adjustment. The census puts Allen's median commute right at around 30 minutes, which is pretty standard for the northern suburbs in DFW. So if both of you work, map both your commutes before you fall for a house. That's one of the first things that I work through with families who are looking to relocate here. Now the cost picture, and this is the section with the advantage that I promised you. The median single-family home in Allen runs on the upper $500,000 end. Those numbers do move, so treat it as a starting point, not as the gospel. To give you the range, your more attainable, established homes tend to start in the $300,000 and $400,000s. The typical family home lands in the low, maybe 500s. Move-up homes run into the 700 and 800s. And the more luxury tier is going to go up well past $1 million. It is a balanced market with homes generally sitting a few weeks to maybe a month in the Allen area, so you're not in a total feeding frenzy. Now here's more on the quiet advantage, the property taxes. In a lot of the newer suburbs like Prosper or Salina, for example, those beautiful new master plan communities are often built on top of a mud or a PID. That's a special taxing district that pays back the developer for roads and pipes for things like bringing water into the development or the area. And it stacks on top of your normal tax rate. It can add real money, sometimes several $1,000s a year to your tax bill. And a lot of relocating families never see it coming until they're reading the fine print. Allen, though, is a mature, fully built out city, which means most established Allen neighborhoods usually don't carry those mud or PID add-ons. Though you always want to verify that just to be sure. Your combined property tax rate in Allen tends to land somewhere in the mid to high 1% range before your exemptions, and effectively lower after adding in your homestead exemption. Now, Allen ISD's school rate is a little higher than, say, Plano's, so I'm not telling you that Allen is going to be cheap. But when you compare apples to apples against a brand new home carrying an additional mud, the all-in tax picture in an established Allen neighborhood can genuinely come out ahead. That's the part that almost nobody runs the math on. And of course, you're going to be given that bonus of having no Texas state income tax. So for families coming from California, New York, or Illinois, that alone reshapes the math. Now, here's your homework before you write an offer anywhere up here in North Dallas. Verify the exact tax rate and any special district for that specific address, just to err on the safe side, even in Allen, and pull the tax history. Try and get a copy of the HOA resale packet and find out the HOA dues. Price out homeowners insurance and compare both commutes. If running that math makes your head spin, that's exactly what I am here for. Head to the Get Started page or just reach out to me, and I will help you compare the full ownership picture on any home that you're weighing. Now let's talk about what it actually feels like to live here as a family. Because remember, Allen keeps its sales tax instead of building a train, and this is where it went. There's Celebration Park, which is Allen's signature landing spot for families. So if you have kids, you're going to be spending a lot of time there, I can guarantee. There are about 97 acres with playgrounds, a spray ground, sports fields, trails, ponds, and lots of other activities. The Village at Allen is a massive retail and entertainment complex with Topgolf and Bass Pro and the Event Center, which, by the way, is home to the Allen Americans hockey team. And there's a public ice rink right there too. There's the food hall at the farm, the Allen Premium Outlets. You'll also find one of the biggest skate parks in all of Texas and a brand new rec center. There's also something like 78 miles of hiking and biking trails. And don't forget about the 2 golf courses for all of you pros out there. So for youth sports, the Allen Sports Association is a volunteer-run hub, and everything from baseball, softball, soccer, football, and basketball feeds right into that one team, Eagles identity that we talked about. I had families tell me the youth sports pipeline really, truly mattered to them, almost as much as the school rating when making their decision. Allen gives you a lot to work with there. And one honest note though, all of that is spread across driving distance areas rather than one walkable downtown. Waters Creek is your closest thing to more of that walkable heart in the city. You'll have to drive between all of the pieces because that's just going to be how Allen is. All right, now the real trade-offs, because I'm not here to sell you just on Allen specifically. I'm here to help you make a decision. The commute to downtown Dallas on the 75 at rush hour is real, as in a real big pain in the you-know-what. It is great for North Dallas jobs, but a grind for daily downtown commuting. And Allen is pretty much built out already. If you have your heart set on a brand new home, on a brand new street, with all the latest floor plan and options out there, Allen most likely can't end up giving you that. That kind of buyer belongs in maybe Prosper, Salina, or even up in Melissa or Anna. And I'll help you look there if you need to. There won't be any hard feelings. But Allen is not going to be cheap. There's a $500,000 median price point. Allen is mid-tier for affluent Collin County, not an affordable entry suburb. It's also car dependent. There's no transit, no train, no bus. So who is Allen genuinely not for? If you need to be on a train to downtown Dallas every day, Allen's going to just end up frustrating you. If a brand new build is a non-negotiable, then you might want to look further up north. And if you want real acreage and a quieter country feel, well, that's not going to be Allen either. Though you're only about 20 minutes from places that are, and I've got videos on all of those areas too. So here is the bottom line. Allen is a genuinely strong fit for a family that wants top-tier schools, a deep youth, sports, and outdoor lifestyle, if you want an established community that already feels settled. And this is the heart of it, that one town, one team identity, where the whole city shows up under the same Friday night light. If you want the Collin County schools and community without paying the newest and priciest premium, well, Allen deserves a really good hard look. And if you're cross-shopping it with Plano, which is the other established Collin County option that a lot of families do end up weighing, the usual tiebreaker is that one team identity. That's the thing Plano, with its several high schools, just can't end up giving you. If you're weighing Allen against a newer suburb, I've got an Allen versus Prosper video coming that breaks it down side by side that I will link right here. And if you're still in research mode, grab that free DFW family relocation guide on my website. It walks you through exactly how to weigh schools, commute, budget, and lifestyle for your family. If you're further along and you want me to build you an actual Allen shortlist, head to the Get Started page and tell me about your family and your timeline, or honestly just call, text, or send me an email. It is going to be me that you will get on the phone, and we'll talk through your specifics so that you're not guessing from a distance. There's no fluff over here. And certainly there's not going to be any pressure either. Just real information so that you can decide with confidence and maybe sleep a little bit better tonight. And until next time, I hope you all take care.